Everyone, Rick, the Static Nomadic. It has been a wonderful time here in Salt Lake with my folks. There has been so much going on that I have not gotten videos out. I have taken some video, but I can honestly say my time has been precious, and taking video has kind of been the lowest thing on my list right now, actually. I've been helping my folks with a bunch of things around the house. I helped my sister put up an awning on her garage. That was fun all in itself.
How many people did it take to install an awning?
Everybody.
Everybody and that squirrel that just went across the line up
Everybody
there.
needs razor.
They say you can do this shit with two people.
Two people.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah, right.
Four people just to get the rod in the...
Not.
Down button is out because the motor is actually on the wrong side. And we can't figure this one out.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. We got to get behind Trina here.
Drum roll, please.
Everybody.
Wait a minute.
Come on, help me out, man. Mom.
You can do it. You're so good.
Oh my God, it's actually coming out.
Holy crap! And it hasn't fallen off the garage yet.
Not just yet.
Woo!
It's missed the tree.
Somebody should go underneath it and look at those arms.
Yeah, just to make sure it falls on them.
I have done a lot of work on the coach. I did get the shifter back and got it reinstalled. I have double checked all the numbers, and it is the original shift unit. It's got a whole new keypad on it. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. Now, it was $600. It was 48 something shipping it to them, and then $550 for them to rebuild it and ship it back. But I like what they did here, and we're about to install this thing. Now the install is a little more than just slamming it in and plugging it in. Step number one, disconnect all batteries. Make sure you have no power. Shut everything down and disconnect the batteries. Don't forget your solar. Pull the fuses on the solar. Step number two is use a contact cleaner. And we're going to clean these contacts up real good, and they want you to plug it in and unplug it at least 10 times and clean in between every other or so, just to make sure you're getting good contacts and everything's good to go there. Okay, I've exercised those in, and I went ahead and pulled those O-rings off the end to exercise those in and clean up contacts and everything, just so that the O-rings didn't get damaged. But we are now about to slide the unit back in, and the problem with this is there's a mounting bracket that goes up under there that pinches this down, and you have to get the bolts through while this panel is lifted up and get the nuts started on it, and then you can drop it into place and finish tightening everything down. So this is the fun part. Alright, we are mounted back in, taking these brackets off. I don't know if you can see these, getting those bolts back in there on both sides without busting old plastic plate, mounting plate that it's on, is a rather interesting task. As you can see by areas like this, it's very brittle. And, well, I managed to pull it off without busting the heck out of it. So, anyway, we're all plugged back in. Hook the batteries back up. I'm going to go ahead and clean all the battery terminals, everything. Make sure they're topped off, and then we'll get hooked up and fire this thing off. Alright, all batteries are reconnected, cleaned up. Still got to put some grease on the terminals and stuff, but I can do that later. I'll go ahead, fire this off. Alright, well, after boosting the battery off, I guess just from sitting all this time, doesn't leave me a lot of hope though on those batteries. They are about 6 years old, so might be putting batteries in too. Anyway, shifter looks good. Let it build the air pressure and take it for a ride. I still have some buttoning up to do on it. I had to replace the oil filter that I just had replaced before I left Florida because it was leaking. Don't buy Baldwin filters. Do not buy Baldwin filters. I believe this will be the last time I ever use Baldwin filters. I didn't service this. I had this serviced, and they use these filters, and I've never used them. I've always used Napa Gold, and this one is leaking around the same after less than 1,500 miles. Unbelievable. And these are not cheap filters. The Napa Gold was like 70 bucks. So, I've already test run it. Everything looks good here. Just can't believe a Baldwin filter was leaking like that. I will never use Baldwin filters again, ever. I won't let anybody put one on, ever. Had to replace my serpentine belt. And we got a serpentine belt that is less than 3 years old. That is also cracked. And I'm not really sure it's a crack. It may have been that way from day one. It may have been a blem or something. I'm not sure. But I didn't trust it. So, ended up replacing the serpentine belt. Unbelievable. Gates belt, less than 3 years old. Probably 3,000 miles on it. Maybe 4. Crazy. I mean, it's in good shape. Except for that one crack. Let's see. I had to order a step sensor for my quickie steps because my step out light on my dashboard stayed on constantly even when the steps were up for whatever reason. And well, I already know the reason. It was the sensor. So I had to order one of those. I haven't got it yet. Somewhere along the line, and I know it actually happened in Louisiana, I smacked the bottom of the jack on the trailer, and it bottomed out so hard when I went through that intersection that it actually bent the diamond plate that's holding the jack on, and it destroyed the jack. So I have ordered a new Husky 4500 power jack, and it hasn't arrived yet, but I'm going to start getting it ready for the install on that. Get this old jack off, get a battery put in here, various other things. We went camping for 7 days in the Uinta Mountains at Mill Hollow. What an awesome place. That was a really, really nice place. was a really, really nice place. Mill Hollow Reservoir is gorgeous. Good fishing. A lot of people use it for paddle boarding and kayaking and stuff, but it's a really nice reservoir. Oh, and then code enforcement didn't like me being on the side of the road here, and well, they raised some cane, and as you can tell, I had to relocate my coach and the trailer. But it all kind of worked out good, because when we left camping, and I shouldn't say good because it wasn't good, but when we were leaving our campsite in Mill Hollow, we lost reverse, and we had to get yanked out.
Well, that's one way to end a camping trip. We just had to get pulled out of our spot, because as we was backing up, we just suddenly lost reverse.
We rode up to the reservoir in hopes that we could find somebody with a big dually 4x4 to yank us out, and that's exactly what we did. Is rode up there, and a really nice guy came down and tugged us out of the hole that we were in, and all forward gears worked and everything, just no reverse. Turned out not to be the transmission itself, good thing. It was actually the gear vendor, which is an aftermarket gearbox that helps split the gears so that you can climb hills better and keep the RPMs in a good range. But it was the gear vendor that went, and so it's at the shop now getting a new gear vendor built. But that kind of worked out, because this is normally where my parents' RV would be. And since code enforcement forced me off the road, well, I'm in their driveway now, so I can't be here much longer. I plan on leaving within the next week. Hopefully all of these parts come in and I can get things straightened around. I'm still working on the awning issue, but I have been quoted a lot of money on this awning, $1,000 plus, and I have been doing some research on this, and I think I can pull it off for around $600, and that includes new end caps and everything. So that's probably the direction I'm going to head on this. Anyway, I know it's been a while since I posted, but hey, I've just been having fun, you know, with family and old friends, and just enjoying the time. Hope you guys understand. Peace out, people.
Thank you.